Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. The Evening Edition by J. Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
Hello, I'm J. Claude McDaniel and this is your edition of Streaming News Network. So we begin with Vice President J-D Vance says federal investigators have identified what he describes as repeated patterns of organized fraud involving government assistance programs, as the Trump administration expands its nationwide fraud enforcement efforts. Vance, who leads the White House Fraud Task Force, says investigators have uncovered cases where individuals allegedly exploited programs by sharing methods within communities, creating larger networks of abuse. He emphasized that the impact falls on taxpayers and on families who depend on legitimate government services. According to Vance, federal officials have identified approximately $230 billion in suspected fraud since President Trump returned to office, while about $55 billion in questionable payments have been stopped. The task force has focused on programs including Medicare, Medicaid, hospice care, home health services, and other federally funded benefits. Officials say investigations are continuing across multiple states. Vance says recovering stolen funds can be difficult once money has been distributed, making prevention a primary focus. The vice president also discussed balancing his government responsibilities with family life, saying his children help keep perspective during a demanding schedule. This is Streaming News Network. A former chief executive officer of a Connecticut manufacturing company has been arrested following a financial crime investigation into allegations that he misused company funds. Michael P. Maddox, 45, the former CEO of Bierk Manufacturing in East Lyme, Connecticut, was arrested on a charge of first-degree larceny. Police say the investigation found evidence that Maddox allegedly used company financial accounts, including a corporate credit card and checking account, to take a substantial amount of money from the business. Authorities say Maddox was being held on a $75,000 bond while awaiting a court appearance. The company previously filed a civil lawsuit alleging that Maddox received unauthorized bonuses, failed to repay personal expenses charged to company accounts, and improperly used company funds, including money connected to federal pandemic relief programs. Bierk Manufacturing officials said they are grateful that the case is moving forward and hope the legal process will bring the matter closer to a conclusion. Maddox had worked for the company since 2008 and became chief executive officer in March of 2018. This is Streaming News Network. A New York police official has been fired following her arrest in connection with an investigation into an alleged attempted murder involving her son. Jennifer Lackard, 49, the former deputy police commissioner of wellness for Mount Vernon, New York, was terminated after authorities accused her of assisting her son following a shooting incident outside a Bronx courthouse. Police say Lackard and her 20-year-old son, Chase Lackard, were arrested during a raid at their Bronx home. Investigators allege her son was involved in a shooting in June and that Lackard acted as the driver who helped him leave the scene. Authorities say no one was injured in the shooting. The pair face charges including attempted murder, attempted assault, weapons possession, conspiracy, and reckless endangerment. Mount Vernon officials stated that the allegations are unrelated to Lackard's official duties with the police department but confirmed her employment was ended immediately. The case has drawn additional attention because Chase Lackard had previously been involved in other reported incidents, including prior shootings and weapons-related charges. Officials say the investigation remains ongoing, and prosecutors will determine the next steps in the case. This is Streaming News Network. A 19-year-old California law student died in London after suffering a fatal heart rhythm problem that an inquest linked to complications associated with a prescribed weight loss medication. Josephine Nasser was studying at the University of East London as part of a study abroad program when she was found unresponsive in her dormitory in September of 2025. The inquest heard that Nasser had been prescribed tirzepatide in California. She reportedly experienced nausea and vomiting before her death, raising concerns about dehydration and metabolic complications. A pathologist told the court that Nasser also had a previously undetected heart condition known as myocardial bridging, which can contribute to dangerous heart rhythms. The coroner concluded that Nasser died from a cardiac arrhythmia associated with the heart condition and an electrolyte imbalance linked to hypoglycemia following vomiting while taking tirzepatide. Tirzepatide is administered by injection and is marketed under different brand names for diabetes and chronic weight management. Nasser's family remembered her as a joyful young woman who loved helping others, traveling, and spending time near the ocean. The official inquest into her death was held in London this month. This is Streaming News Network. A 27-year-old man has been arrested after allegedly breaking into the Los Angeles area estate of Kim Kardashian and leaving the property in a vehicle. Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies responded shortly before 4 p.m. Sunday after a security guard reportedly spotted the suspect loading items into a vehicle at Kardashian's estate in the exclusive Hidden Hills community. Authorities arrested the unidentified man at the property and booked him on suspicion of burglary. Accounts differ over ownership of the vehicle. Some reports indicate it belonged to Kardashian, while others say it was owned by a staff member and was driven around the gated community. Kardashian, who is 45, reportedly moved out with her children while the mansion undergoes renovations. Her vehicles had remained at the property. Her representatives say the suspect never entered the actual residence and that Kardashian currently has no personal belongings stored there. No one was injured, and authorities reportedly found no weapons on the suspect. The investigation remains ongoing. This is Streaming News Network. An alleged Irish organized crime leader has been extradited from Dubai to Ireland, where he now faces charges involving the direction of a criminal organization. 49-year-old Daniel Kinahan arrived in Dublin Sunday aboard an Irish military aircraft after courts in Dubai rejected efforts to prevent his extradition. Kinahan was brought before Ireland's Special Criminal Court and ordered held at the high-security Portlaoise prison. His next court appearance is scheduled for October 5. Authorities accuse Kinahan of overseeing an international criminal network involved in drug trafficking and money laundering operations extending across Ireland, Britain, Spain, and the United States. American authorities have previously alleged that the organization was involved in a violent gang conflict and international cocaine and cannabis trafficking. U.S. officials once offered a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to the disruption of the organization or Kinahan's arrest and conviction. Kinahan denies being a crime boss and says he has been targeted by a conspiracy. He maintains that a trial in Ireland will allow him to clear his name. Security surrounding his return has been extensive, reflecting concerns over the alleged gang conflict and the high-profile nature of the case. This is Streaming News Network. A major welfare fraud scandal in Minnesota has become a major issue in the state's Democratic Senate primary, with candidates accusing each other of failing to prevent widespread misuse of taxpayer-funded programs. Representative Angie Craig has criticized Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan over the handling of the fraud allegations, arguing that Flanagan shared responsibility as one of Minnesota's top elected officials during the period when the problems emerged. Flanagan has pushed back, saying Governor Tim Walz took the lead in responding to the issue and that significant reforms have since been implemented. Investigators are still determining the total financial impact of fraudulent claims involving programs such as meals, housing assistance, and Medicaid. Estimates range from hundreds of millions of dollars to several $billion. The controversy has become a political target for Republicans, who say the scandal reflects failures in government oversight. Democrats have responded by debating whether accountability should fall on individual leaders or broader state systems. The issue has also intensified divisions between moderate Democrats and the party's progressive wing as voters prepare for upcoming primary elections. The winner of the Democratic Senate contest is expected to face Republican candidate Michelle Tafoya in the general election. This is Streaming News Network. Actor Antonio Banderas is opening up about his decision to leave Hollywood behind and return to his hometown of Malaga, Spain, saying a major health scare changed his perspective on life. Banderas, known for films including Desperado, The Mask of Zorro, and Puss in Boots, spent decades living in Los Angeles during his marriage to actress Melanie Griffith. The couple divorced in 2015 but have remained close friends. The actor says his 2017 heart attack became a turning point, forcing him to reconsider his priorities and what mattered most. Banderas explained that the experience reminded him that he wanted to spend more time in Spain rather than continue building a lifestyle centered around Hollywood. He said his years in Los Angeles were meaningful, especially raising his daughter Stella and becoming part of a blended family, but he always felt Malaga was where he truly belonged. Banderas said the health crisis changed his outlook, describing it as a moment that helped him focus less on possessions and more on the experience of living. The actor continues working in film while embracing a quieter life in his hometown. This is Streaming News Network. Tallulah Willis, the youngest daughter of Hollywood stars Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, has married musician Justin Assay in a star-studded wedding ceremony in Sun Valley, Idaho. The 32-year-old bride and Assie, who have been together for 3 years, celebrated their wedding with family, friends, and several well-known guests, including actress Lucy Liu, actor Andrew Garfield, and designer Zach Posen. Tallulah's sisters, Rumor and Scout Willis, served as bridesmaids, while the bride wore a custom-designed gown created by fashion designer Pierpaolo Piccioli. The outdoor ceremony took place in a wooded setting decorated with elaborate floral arrangements, vintage-inspired details, and elegant outdoor dining areas. Guests later celebrated with music and dancing as the evening continued. Idaho holds special meaning for the Willis family, where Bruce Willis and Demi Moore spent years raising their daughters away from Hollywood spotlight. The wedding comes as the family continues supporting Bruce Willis, who has been living with frontotemporal dementia. The actor stepped away from acting after health issues affected his ability to communicate and perform. Family members have continued to describe their bond as strong while navigating his ongoing health challenges. I am J. Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Thank you for watching and staying informed.
Thank you for viewing Streaming News Network videos, and also short and special reports. Please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified of additional reports.